92.5 FM.
Hey, we welcome you into Afternoon Drive. Thanks for being part of our little get-together. It's always brought to you by The Best Bet. We thank our Best Bet friends so much. Valentine's Day special is at all Best Bet locations. Now make a royal flush in hearts and cash in on up to $5,000. All kind of fun stuff going on all week long. That is at The Best Bet, all those locations. We are live. If you're watching on the stream, you see that beautiful palm tree and that beautiful area behind us. That is the stadium course of TPC, and we are loving being out here. It was media day today, and we had a blast coming out here today. And the tour takes such good care of us. Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players, will be with us at 5 o'clock today. He was with Dan and Jeff this morning talking all about the new stuff going on here, and so it is great to have him with us, and he'll be here with us in about an hour. A lot of things to talk about. A Super Bowl that was not shocking with regard to who won. I think you and I both saw it that way. I was shocked with the way they won. We'll talk Gator basketball. What a big win that was. Today's about winning.
Yeah.
Hayes.
So how'd you play?
Well, it's funny you should say that, Hayes. It's not about me. It's about the team. So you have teams. We have a bunch of media teams. I'm told, because I wasn't watching second place, I'm told second place was 2 under. Okay. I'm told third place was even.
Yeah. Tough conditions out there.
Yeah. The winners were 15 under.
Wow.
Okay. That might have been my team.
How about that?
It might have been my team. Yeah, it might have been my team. So I'll tell you what happened, Hayes, and poor Lee Smith, who's had to hear it 3 times, is going to have to hear it again at 5 o'clock, but I'm going to share it with him. We started on 18. Now, it's a shamble. The way a shamble works is you all hit your drive, and then you take the best drive, but it's not a scramble. Then you play your own ball. So a scramble is you take the best shot every shot. A shamble is you all hit a drive, then you take the best drive, and everybody plays their own ball on in. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So then it's then your own ball. So we start on 18, which meant 17, by the way, is we were going to be our ending hole. So we start on 18. Everyone knows 18 out here.
It's a tough hole to start on.
It's a tough hole. Some of our I'll tell you more about our team in a minute, but one of our people hit it to about 110 yards.
Wow. On
18, okay, maybe 115, okay, and then we all hit our shots. I might have hit a little 9-iron to about I don't know, Hayes, a foot.
Wow.
Hit it to about a foot and made the putt. So I got us started on the birdie train. I like to think I set the tone. I like you have to create expectations. When you win, I think it's about culture.
Yeah.
I think it's about leadership. I think it's about setting expectations. Hayes, I think it's about accountability.
Yeah.
And I think we set the expectations. And from that point forward, we roared on to 15 under. That included 2 eagles.
That's amazing.
It included a bunch of birdies, and we kind of dominated. It was leadership. It was setting goals. It was again, that first birdie. I don't think anything happens without that first birdie. I think the first birdie is really what kind of got it all going. Okay, the tap in birdie on number 18. There's an outside chance that most of the team, it was mostly local media. Dan and Jeff were out here. Mia was out here, certainly from our state. A lot of the TV people, a lot of the newspaper people. It's a lot of local, and we just got out here. There's an outside chance that might, and they put some of the local people with some people from out of the area, just so everyone gets to know each other. There's an outside chance that my team also had Hernan Ray and Matias and Selmo from ESPN Latin America. Good guys. They host the Spanish-speaking broadcast on ESPN. When the tour is playing, when there's golf going on, they host 2 of the nicest guys. Also, Adam Schupak from USA Today's golf writer and works for Golf Week magazine. There's an outside chance that Hernan and Matias formerly played on the European Tour.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there's an outside chance that Hernan played on.
That's an intriguing detail.
Yeah, that Hernan may or may not have played on the European Tour for 14 years. Matias also played professionally. Hernan is still a pro, but so he can't carry a handicap. But they're guessing he's probably about a +4 if he did.
Wow.
Matias is about a +3. Okay, and it's the 2 best golfers I've ever played with in my life.
Wow.
In terms of, now I've played with one. I played with a tour player here or someone like there. But it's the best pair of golfers I've ever. Hayes, every shot Every drive was long and down the middle. Every one.
Did you guys ever get into trouble at all and
Never.
have to salvage something?
Never.
Wow.
Like never.
No scrambling.
Yeah, no. Now there was only 18 holes. If we'd have played 90, maybe there would have been. Okay, but there was never a time to scramble.
Wow.
Off the tee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
now,
precise the whole round.
Yeah, and so once you got that tee ball long and right down the middle, now again you all play your now at times if I played well, I had a chance to use my ball. If you played badly, I may make bogey, but I promise you one of them were making birdie. Okay. The only times they weren't is when they were making eagle. Wow. And so, but it was a wonderful day. And they're two real, Hernan Ray and Matias Anselmo, two really nice guys from ESPN Latin America. They handle the Spanish-speaking broadcast. If you've seen that, for certainly people in our audience that are Spanish-speaking folks, if you've watched them, and they do a wonderful job. And Adam Schupak, by the way, from USA Today and Golf Week, by the way, he's an 8 handicap. Okay, and he was our third best player. In case you're doing a power poll of our team. With an 8 handicap, he was third.
Yeah.
Okay, so
are you guys having the parade Friday like the Eagles are?
Well, we are. And as I said, yes, that's a yes. We got the golden typewriter. Yeah. I thought about keeping it at my house. Okay. Don't think for a minute it didn't run through my mind keeping the golden typewriter.
Yeah.
But there's an outside chance that they contributed more than me. There's an outside chance that so it went down to ESPN Latin America in Orlando.
That's awesome.
And it will be back here. I have already asked Lee. I want to keep the teams together.
Yes.
Listen.
Yeah. This is big off season for you guys.
We have a title.
You might need to apply a franchise tag or two.
Correct. Yeah, we are way over the cap, bro. We are in cap hell. I can tell you that. But we had a wonderful time. So thanks to the tour for having us out, and we do appreciate that. And we love coming out here. And Lee is such a wonderful guy. Miranda does such a good job building this thing, and the course is gorgeous. And they do such a good job with local charities, and Lee will talk a little bit about that. But it's just a wonderful day, and we had a good day, and the local media had a good time. So we thank them for having us out. A lot of things to get to today on the program. Lee will be with us at 5 o'clock, talking all about the players and all the fun things they're doing out here. And it's always great things, talking about some of the differences, some of the new food additions. And as you know, Lee will be with us every week now till the end of golf season, not just the players, certainly leading up to the players and then the golf season. He's a fantastic guy and a fantastic golf analyst, and we can't wait to have it.
It's heating up. Spieth played well yesterday. That was encouraging. JT played well.
Agreed.
That was encouraging. Detry ran away with it in Phoenix. But, so, I mean, it's here, and it's really exciting time.
Yeah, we'll talk about Gator basketball. What a win for the Gators, and we'll get to that. You said it on Twitter or on X, and you were dead right. The biggest road win in the school's history. It's the biggest road win in the history of the program. And they are legit. I said this on my 10-10 take last week. If they won that game, they'd be a 1 seed. I'll stand by that now. They're not going to collapse. I don't think they necessarily win in Alabama, although at this point, who knows?
I think they actually match up pretty well against Alabama.
Well, you called this too. I'll give you credit, Hays. Neither one of us thought they were going to win.
Yeah, I picked Auburn.
Yeah, I did too. But you made a valid point that played out watching the game, and I didn't think about it till you said it. But Florida doesn't match up as well with Tennessee because they're as physical as Florida is. They can get in your face and defend you and bother you and get you out of rhythm, and you never get. Auburn's an offensive team. Auburn is not a super physical team. They are a track meet team. Well, Florida can play with those teams, and Florida can out-physical those teams, and I thought they did. I thought they were the more physical team, so we'll certainly get to that coming up on the program.
That sequence that Thomas Houck had on what ended up being the Aberdeen 3 to make it 9-12,
right,
which was really, I thought.
And it was a tip-out on the last play.
Not just the play of the game, not just the play of this season. It, to me, is right up there with Earl Everett running without his helmet on to go tackle Troy Smith in the national title win over Ohio State. The guts that he has on that play, he's behind the three-point line.
Right.
After already getting an offensive rebound to keep the possession alive, then a second shot goes up. Houck is behind the three-point line, is able to crash the glass, tip the ball out perfectly to Aberdeen, who drains the three, and you could just feel it radiate off the TV screen.
Right.
That at that point, Auburn collectively, their fans and their players and their bench was like, this isn't our day.
Yeah.
This is Florida's day today. Because, again, at that point, it was 9 with a lot of time left. But that made it 12, and that really seemed to take all the air out of Auburn.
This was an Auburn team with 12 quad 1 wins, Nobody else has more than, 7? Or is it 6?
Yeah, it varies because it's all fluid.
Yeah.
But yes,
that's right.
It was
the reason it varies.
It was 7 the last I'd looked.
The reason it varies is a quad 1 win can turn into a quad 2 win if the team loses enough games. But nonetheless, it was a great win, so we'll certainly get to that. But we'll start the program with the Super Bowl. That'll be our first segment. One quick comment. We'll go to break, then come back and really break it down. I thought, and I know you did too, I thought Philadelphia would win the game. I thought they would be too physical for Kansas City. Kansas City has won with some smoke and mirrors because Mahomes is so good and Andy Reid is so good, and they're used to being there, and they're confident. But I was confident all week long Philadelphia was going to beat them. In fact, I thought we had this talk. I thought you were going to pick Kansas City, but I felt like all along Philadelphia was the better team. But I did not think they would boat race them. That was based on what you expect. We've seen blowouts in a Super Bowl, but usually the team that gets blown out in a Super Bowl is the team you expect. If somebody got blown out, it would be that team.
Right.
This was a surprising when it was 24-0. That was 31-0.
Yeah,
that
40-6.
Yeah, that was as surprising to me. Even in a litany of Super Bowl blowouts that we've seen, none surprised me more than that. Seeing the Kansas and listen, the Bucs beat them 31-9 a few years ago, so it's not like they've not been boat raced. But that was different.
Yeah, that game was closer for a lot longer.
It was. It had the same storyline. They got out physical,
right?
But it didn't feel like this. To see the Kansas City Chiefs, that helpless, was one of the most surprising things I've seen in a Super Bowl in many, many years.
I mean, Philadelphia really did look like the '85 Bears, just mauling the Patriots. That's what it looked like. I mean, it just looked like varsity versus JV in the trenches. And, this is what I always base it off of this. If you are doing something so inept that I've never seen the Jaguars do it, then obviously you are having a rough day at the office. I've never seen the Jaguars have 1 first down in a first half with 2 turnovers and 23 total yards. I've never seen them do that. At least not to my knowledge. I can't ever remember the Jaguars, of all their struggles. I can't ever remember them having 30 minutes of football like that. Kansas City had it. There was one instance this season where a team failed to cross midfield on their first 9 drives. It happened once this season, and it was last night, Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Just a staggering, dominating performance by the Philadelphia Eagles, who never had to blitz. They just dominated with their 4.
And of all the things we're going to talk about, of all the pull-up points of that game, the fact that they never blitzed one time and still got that pressure is the storyline. So we'll take a break. Let's start with the Super Bowl, why it went the way it did. Are there trends that came out of that? Where are we headed forward? Where are the Chiefs headed forward? Where are the Eagles headed forward? How does all of this relate to the Jaguars as they kind of rebuild what they've got here? We'll talk Super Bowl. Later on, we'll talk Gators and Auburn. Later on, Lee Smith stops by to talk about the Players' Championship. All that and a whole lot more. We're glad you're with us. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Chevrolet. Now look, as they begin 2025, Nimnick is so excited to offer even more choices and better prices for you, ensuring your car buying experience is second to none. And if you're wondering where to go for a better buying experience, it's simple. Nobody but Nimnick. So here's to another year of driving forward together. And don't forget now, in this new year means new truck time at Nimnick Chevrolet. This month, you can save up to $12,000 off a new Silverado. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV, designed to go the distance. It boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor, and ask about a terrific low rate as well. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
It's very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the
and then
amps go up to 1010XL.
Exactly. It's one louder, isn't it?
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
I-9 Sports invites parents on the First Coast to log on and check out what they can offer with sports year-round. Spring and summer registration open right now, and with ages 3 to 7, there's something for everyone. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code, and get your kid in the game.
This is Dr. George Bari, inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics, and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation, with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Helmets and heels.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Just behave, okay?
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
This Black History Month profile is brought to you by McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. McGowan's got your back. Dick Lundy, a Jacksonville Cookman Institute native, was shipped to New Jersey in 1916, where he became a shining star for the Atlantic City Bacharach Giants. Lundy's career batting average was estimated at .331, including 9 home runs and 76 RBIs during the 1927 season. Lundy ended his career as an active player by coaching and managing teams throughout the 40s.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We do thank our friends from the Best Bet. Another weekend of table game payouts, February 15th and 16th now. That's the day after Valentine's Day, Saturday and Sunday. That's at all Best Bet locations, $300 every 15 minutes from 6 p to midnight. That's on the 15th and 16th. That's Saturday and Sunday at all 3 locations. That's St. Augustine, just off of 95. That's Monument Road, and that is US 17 in Orange Park. Frangie and Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you. A shocking Super Bowl, to say the very least. A very impressive one. Handful of thoughts, Hays. Number one, the story that is not new, but we have to be reminded of it on a regular basis, is that you have to win the line of scrimmage. And if you're the more physical team, and if you're by far the more physical team, and now it's not just physical, it's fast and physical, it's athletic and physical. There's a reason that the best teams go get all those SEC linemen or those Ohio State linemen or those Michigan linemen. They go get those. There's a reason they matter. There's a reason Ohio State and Michigan and Alabama and Georgia and LSU win all the titles. There's a reason. Well, those guys make their way to the NFL, and they take over those games too. I will applaud Kansas City for the extraordinary year they had when you realize they were just okay on the offensive line. People made a big deal, as they should have, of Joe Thuney going out and playing left tackle, and what a warrior he is, and what a hard-nosed guy he is, and what a team guy. He's not a tackle. He's a short-armed guy that, facing Josh Sweat and the rest of those pass rushers, had no chance. When you're better and more physical at the line of scrimmage, it's hard to beat you. That is how the Ravens and the Steelers and the Bucks, a couple times they've won it. That's how they've won it. There's been so much attention, and I think this is, at least in my mind, the thesis statement of the game. There's been so much attention, and rightfully so, really forever, but really started with the Brady era, of if you have the best quarterback, you win the game. If you have a great elite quarterback, you're the best team. And there's a lot of truth to that. Brady played in 10 Super Bowls. He won 7 of them. Peyton Manning's got titles. Patrick Mahomes has a bunch of titles. So there's a lot of truth to the quarterback stuff. Don't think for a minute it's not true. But it almost made us forget the importance of physicality and toughness and winning the trenches and winning the line of scrimmage. And we almost lost sight of the fact that the teams that win have that too. Because so much attention has gone to these great quarterbacks that we, and I'm as guilty as anybody, have lost sight of the importance of the physical nature and winning those trenches, man. And you have to do that. The other thing is, it's hard not to love what the Eagles are with Jalen Hurts. Physical. You called it. You said he'd be the MVP, and he was. He plays differently. That doesn't mean he's not a good passer. He's a very good passer. But I think the running quarterback I think that's what we're going to see. It's not a coincidence. They just have a lot of called runs for him. The Ravens have a lot of called runs for Lamar Jackson. The Bills don't have as many, but they have some for Josh Allen. These are athletic quarterbacks. That's where the game has gone. Jalen Hurts isn't the great player Patrick Mahomes is yet, but he's a better runner, and he affected the game more with his legs than Patrick Mahomes, although who does at some point. I think the game is, we were reminded of the importance of physicality. We were reminded of the importance of winning those trenches. And the addition to the NFL, the running quarterback, it's not just this game. It's all the things Lamar has done and Josh Allen has done and others have done. And isn't it funny how it all goes full circle? For the longest time, college football had running quarterbacks until you got to the NFL. Then you had to be a 6'5" or 6'4", 230-pound drop back guy. You could be a statue, it didn't matter, but you had to be that guy or you couldn't make it in the NFL. Remember that? What if Blake Bortles came along right now? Right now. What if Blake Bortles, it's not like Bortles played 30 years ago, but what if he came along right now? You know, I almost wonder to myself, would it be better? Because there was no RPO then, you know, even though it wasn't that long ago, there wasn't RPO. There wasn't, you know. So isn't it funny how full circle football has gone to where everybody in college ran it, or college quarterbacks often ran it, and pro quarterbacks were statues, and all of a sudden the college quarterbacks that got deep this year, Will Howard, who won the thing, Riley Leonard, who was right there, none of them were runners. And the quarterbacks in the NFL holding the trophies and getting the title games are. It's amazing how full circle football has gone. So many storylines came out of that championship.
Yeah, without a doubt. What really blew me away is we'll sometimes hear defensive coordinators, defensive coaches say, well, we're gonna stop the run on our way to the quarterback. And that is so difficult to accomplish. But the Eagles were able to do it in masterful fashion. I mean, the Chiefs running backs had 7 carries for 24 yards. And Kansas City's they don't have superstars, but between Kareem Hunt is a solid pro, Isaiah Pacheco, I don't know that he's himself because he missed a good portion of the early stage of the year with the leg fracture, but he's been out there for a month, so he's not rusty. It's just a question of was he able to get back to his old form. I don't think they have a bad group of running backs. And obviously you're going to key on Mahomes and the weapons that he has through the air. So for Philadelphia to hold those backs to 7 carries, 24 yards, and then harass Mahomes as well as they were able to do it, it was one of the best defensive performances in the Super Bowl we've ever seen. I mean, again, you can put it up there with the 85 Bears. You can put it up there with the Ravens decimating the Giants 20 years ago when Billick was their coach. And I can't remember the score of that Super Bowl. I think it might have been like 31-3 or something, but it was a defensive just gem. I mean, they won it with Trent Dilfer at quarterback. This really ranked right up there. I mean, how opportunistic they were. I mean, the Cooper DeJean pick 6, tremendous return there. Braun's interception deep inside Chiefs territory, where I don't know how he made that catch. I mean, it's one of the best catches from a linebacker you'll see. And they just threw a perfect game defensively, because once the Chiefs did start getting some semblance of a rhythm, the game was over.
Right.
And so obviously your intensity level is going to drop off. It was incredible. The Chiefs really did one thing well, which was contain Saquon Barkley, which they did. He had 97 yards of offense, but on 31 touches, you would take that. Now, you wouldn't take the 31 touches.
He didn't take over the game.
That would suggest that Philadelphia was in control. But look, 25 carries for 57 yards, 2.3 a pop for Saquon, no touchdowns on the ground. He had 6 catches for 40, which certainly helped. But they did a great job of stopping Saquon on the ground. They just had nothing left to defend Hurts as a runner and Hurts as a passer. And again, he was 17-22, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then ran for 72 yards and another score. So Philly was incredible. Because the Chiefs were such a monster and they were going for the three-peat, they were going for history, Philly kind of got lost a little bit in the shuffle, particularly early in the tournament, because Detroit looked like, they were going to just, cruise to the Super Bowl until Washington stunned them. But Philadelphia finished the season 16-1 in their final 17 games. I mean, this is a team for the ages. I mean, if you win 16 of your final 17 games, that is incredible. And so they were 2-2 going into their bye, came out of an early bye, and then went 16-1 to go win the whole thing. Just an incredible performance.
And a deserved title, and a team that's got a lot of its principal people back. This isn't a team that's getting old. This is a team that is young. They feel young. Their coach is young. Their key players are young, and they're not going anywhere. One final thought on it. We'll talk more Super Bowl, obviously, wrap up in the NFL wrap-up season. But they were 16-1 in their last 17 games, and it's not lost on any of us around here that the Jaguars went up there and had a chance to win it. The Jaguars turned the ball over late in the game, in a game they could have beat. Now, listen, I know that's how the NFL is, and every game's close, and the teams that do make those plays at the end win Super Bowls, and the ones that don't win 4 or 5 games. I get it. But the reality is we saw that game. I called that game. That was not men and boys. That was an even game, back and forth even game that the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against this Philadelphia team that finished its season 16-1 and just won the Super Bowl by blowing out the last 2 teams they played. The Jaguars were coming down the field for what would have been a winning touchdown and throw a pick. They had a first down at, was it the 12?
Something like that. Yeah.
They had a first down, In the closing minute of the game, minute and a half of the game, they had a first down inside the 15-yard line with a chance to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, and again, I'll say it again. I'm going to repeat myself here. I understand that's the NFL, and I understand that all NFL games are close, and the teams that win those games are the ones that go 16-1 to the end and win the Super Bowl. I know that. But to the point you've made for the last week or two, that the cheekbones are there, that yes, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done to improve this roster, but there certainly are rudiments in place. And that was running through when I watched them. It ran through my mind a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago when they dominated the Commanders. It ran through my mind. It really ran through my mind yesterday. That's a team that this team went up there on their field, on their turf, with their players all healthy and playing well. Jalen Hurts was fantastic in that game and came right down the field with a chance to win the game and made a mistake at the end of the game. And so it's in play. And again, Frank, you're turning this into a Jaguars thing. Well, that's kind of what we do. We're the Jaguar station. We're in Jacksonville. It tells me that the gap between the team that just won the Super Bowl and this Jaguar team that only won 4 games is not that significant, or they wouldn't have played a dead-even game until the last minute. That's my point.
Yeah, and again, the needs that the Jaguars have, you can accomplish all in one offseason. I mean, you can go, particularly if you have the 5th pick and some cap space. So, I mean, if guard is one of your biggest needs, okay, you don't have to kill yourself by devoting resources to filling a right guard spot. You don't have to kill yourself with resources to acquire a safety, whether that's free agency or in the draft. So, again, that's what is, I think, attractive about where the Jaguars are in their build is you've got the quarterback, you've got your 2 edge players, you've got 2 young offensive tackles that you like, you've got a top corner. So in terms of the premium positions, obviously you've got a unbelievable young receiver. So you've got a lot of the core in place. I would say then there's your premium positions, then there's sort of your second tier positions, then there's your third tier. A lot of their needs are in the third tier. Guard is a third tier need. Safety, that's a third tier need. You can solve those issues without devoting massive resources to those things. So, yeah, that's why I think it is exciting. And, look, we'll see what the Jaguars can do. But certainly their primary needs are at second and third level positions, which does make it feasible that, yeah, they could have a big-time offseason. I mean, what if they take Mason Graham at 5 and he turns into an instant impact player right out of the gate in the interior with Armstead, with Mason Smith? Okay, now maybe you've got something on the interior with some consistency. So, yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of teams that are going to look at what happened and say we're not that far away, and I agree with that. And the other part of it too that really benefited the Jaguars last night is the Chiefs' mystique is now dead. If they had lost like 31-28. They still would have had some of that. When you get embarrassed in the Super Bowl, it all goes away. So, like, if you're Buffalo, if you're Baltimore, if you're Cincinnati, like, yes, you may struggle. You may have had some historically – Cincinnati hasn't. But you may have had some historically, tough times against the Chiefs. But what happened last night, I think, gives everybody in the AFC a little bit of confidence of, look – these guys, they may be now on the downturn of this thing because other than Mahomes, it doesn't look like there's a lot of key. Xavier Worthy had a nice game, and we'll see what he becomes. Travis Kelce looks glacial. I mean, he can't run. He couldn't get to his spot last night, and on the plays that he did make a catch, he couldn't get going. I mean, it was like he was stuck in quicksand. So I don't know how much is left there. That's been a huge part of their dynasty is Travis Kelce being this tight end no one could cover. And look, maybe he was sick. I don't know. Maybe he just had a bad night. But he did not look like Travis Kelce to me, and he's in his mid-30s. So you just never know. When is the day that you're going to wake up when you're that age as a professional athlete and something significantly has decreased in your athleticism?
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are going away. Patrick Mahomes is a young player. Andy Reid's one of the great coaches of our generation. Their front office is extraordinary. The Chiefs' kingdom is not going away. But to your point, they may not be this unbeatable force that we felt like they were. I think that's your point, and I agree with that.
We talked about this like at the end of the regular season. To me, the Chiefs were getting by a lot this season with that Mahomes mystique.
Correct.
And we talked about it in the point differential. Kansas City was plus 59 point differential-wise this year, even though they were 15-2. Now, the number is skewed by the finale because they rested guys, but still, they were plus 59. That was 11th best in the league.
Right.
Now, again, even if when we looked at it, it was before the finale, but even then they were like 7th.
Yeah.
So they were 7th in point differential. Meanwhile, Philadelphia was plus 160.
Yeah. And
I mean, the Chiefs just weren't. They were winning close games, and we all marveled at it because they were finding a way. But what it really was telling us is when they run into a buzzsaw, they're going to be in trouble, and they were.
And Hayes, it was going to take but I will say this. It was going to take the buzzsaw to beat them. You weren't going to beat them in a close game. You weren't going to out fourth quarter them if it's 31-28 and somebody's got the ball with 3:38 to play. No matter who had 31 and who had 28, I think the Chiefs were going to win that game. You had to cut the head off the snake, man. When you end a streak, when you end a dynasty, you got to beat the hell out of them, and that's what the Eagles did. The only bumming thing is football's over, bruh.
I know.
That's the bad thing.
Yeah, but I'm excited about the combine and the new league year.
Well,
and
you're
draft, I like the offseason.
And you're a big UFL guy, though.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite team in the UFL?
Frankfurt, the Galaxy. It's going to be a big year.
Well, by the way,
it's great to be a Galaxy. What do you say when the Galaxy sign you?
The fact that you responded that quickly, I was very impressed with that.
Thank you.
Very impressed. You weren't prepared for that. Very good.
I like to think that I'm always ready.
What about the Rhine Fire? Okay,
they've got a good defense.
Because when Frankfurt and Ryan get together, forget about it.
Ryan got a guy out of Central Michigan, and he is going to make a big difference.
When we take a break, when we come back from our break, let's talk Gator basketball. What a gigantic win for Florida over Auburn. I didn't think they'd beat Auburn. I didn't. But that was a big win for the Gators. We'll talk about it after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
We saw the games.
A tremendous return. It's first and goal, Jacksonville.
And we love to talk about it.
Really changed the course of the game.
1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish family, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice. Watch the roulette wheel spin and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star. Sip cocktails that shimmer. Then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa. Located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Upgrade your home with the winning combination of style and performance from Renewal by Andersen. Energy efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Love is in the air this February, but nothing kills the mood like a plumbing or HVAC problem. Whether it's a leaky pipe, a backed up septic tank, or your heater isn't keeping things cozy, don't worry. We've got you covered. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Our expert team is here to keep your home running smooth, no matter the issue. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators! Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Matt Hays. Around this time last year, I was celebrating. Why? Because I had reached my goal of dropping 40 pounds with Awaken 180. It felt great. We all set goals, but most times we don't have a plan to hit them, so it's not really a goal. I'd call it more of a wish, and we know how that saying goes. With Awaken 180, I didn't wish the weight away. I had a plan, and this time, I knew I'd reach my goal, and I did it. 40 pounds gone in just 2 months. Simple. That was a year ago, and I haven't put on a pound. How do I feel? Like $1 million. Like the horizon line that looked so far away all those years is now right in front of me. And it's a brand new day. And it's time to seize it. Night and day from where I felt carrying around all that weight, having to untuck my shirts, winded trying to tie my shoes. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. Set your goal and know you'll reach it with the solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Knight, Vice President of the Kitchen of Clay County. Thanks to the players for supporting our mission to provide nourishment for both the body and the soul. It's 29 days until the Players' Championship.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Frangie and Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you. We're live here at the stadium course. We sure appreciate our friends from the Players' Championship. Lee Smith will join us in about 15 minutes or so to talk all about golf and about the players and having us out here today. And certainly they're getting closer and closer to golf time here. On Saturday on the Plains, the Gators went in there and just whooped them. So I got to tell you a funny story. So I'm at the hope you'll appreciate this story. So I'm at the baseball. I played a little golf earlier in the day. Then I'm at the Walk-Off Charities baseball, high school baseball classic, which went so well.
Oh, good.
The gates were fantastic. The place was packed the whole time. People were so good. 16 really good baseball teams, and and the softball tournament starts tonight. So 16 softball teams, but we sure appreciate it. It was a great revenue stream. So thank you to everybody that came out. So Jared Simmons, our executive director, and I kind of split the day. He was going to, because we had to award plaques to the winner. So he was taking the first two games, so I'm taking the last two games. So he had the 10 and the 1. I've got the 4 and the 7. So I'm out there when the Gators are playing. I don't think they're going to win. I told you that. So But every time I look down, I'm looking at my phone. All right, they're down 11 early. Okay, well, that's what I expected. Well, then I look back, and they're ahead. I'm like, well, okay, all right. So I'm trying to talk to people, and I'm helping Skylar take tickets. She handles the gate, blah, blah, and I'm walking around, make sure coaches are okay. Do we have umpires? Do we have baseballs? Stuff. Mm-hmm. And every now and then I look down. Oh, Gators ahead again. So then all of a sudden, the Gators are up. And I know they're up. I know they're up 21. I know Auburn's making a run, so I put my phone away. I didn't want to deal with the run, so I put my phone away. Sure enough, Auburn makes the run, got it to 9. Put my phone away. So anyway, long story short, I look back. Gators win the game. I'm thrilled. Now I'm jacked. I'm up there. Okay, so I've got 2 more games. Okay, and I've DVR'd it. Okay. I mean, I've DVR'd every goddamn dribble. Okay, I'll watch the freaking commercials. Okay, I mean, you went to Auburn, and I went to Auburn, and they went to Auburn and beat their butt, and we'll talk all about the game in a minute. Then I get the text. So the game, we got the 7 o'clock game's our last game, and it was a little bit of a blowout, so I was able to shake hands and get out of there by about 9:15. I knew I was leaving about 9:15. Then I get the text. You're a married guy, right?
I am.
You know I'm married.
Yeah, very happily.
Hey, you want to watch that movie as soon as you get home? Oh, it's a dagger. Hey, you want to watch that movie when you get home? Now I got a decision to make, okay? Yeah. There's 2 things. There's good husband, good person, do what's right in the world, or screw that. I got a game to go watch, okay? All right, I got a game. Yeah. So anyway, I'm driving home.
So how's the movie?
Let me get to the punchline, please. Okay? Thank you for that. If it bothers me that you know me this well, okay? I wish we was just starting radio together. I'd rather you go, hey, what'd you do? Hey, how'd the story end, Frank? Okay? So, but I'm driving home thinking, what do you do?
Tight spot.
I mean, have not responded to the text, okay? Yeah. Driving home. Driving in the neighborhood. Still haven't responded to the text. Walk in the door. Hey, did you get my text? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got it. I mean, it's right there. It was right on my phone. Yeah. I mean, it's like I pulled up my phone, and that's where the text was. It was right on the phone. And the movie was fine. And at about 6 in the morning till about 8:20 on Sunday morning, I watched the Gators.
That's awesome.
So there you go. So that's the story.
What movie was it?
It was some action movie with, I don't know, some action movie she recorded on some Netflix thing. It wasn't it wasn't the Wahlberg one. It was an old one. I don't even know what it was. Some old action movie she had recorded.
Okay.
I was barely paying attention, but okay. Okay, just saying.
Sounds like you were locked in.
Yeah, I was really locked in. So anyway, so there's that. What a win. What an impressive win. 2 or 3 things. Number one, they were tough. I thought they out-toughed Auburn. I thought that Auburn front line with Broome and Cardwell, and they're so big and physical, I thought Florida hit him in the mouth. I thought Florida hit him in the mouth, and Auburn didn't like it. That's what it felt like to me. Again, I'm trying to follow it. I went back and watched it already knowing the outcome, so it's a little different than you're watching it live.
Right.
Hays, I thought that was a street fight, and Florida hit him in the mouth, and the bully didn't like it. Now, and that makes it sound like Auburn's bad or Auburn's a bully, because that's not exactly true. But the real reality is that I thought Florida was tougher. I thought Florida was more physical. They turned it into a street fight and beat them at that. More, and we'll get to Clayton and the big threes and Urban, by the way, what a big part of this thing he's going to be moving forward, and the 2 big Aberdeen threes. And you got to make threes, so you don't win those games. I'll get to that in a minute too. But I thought the story was who can hit who in the mouth harder, and I thought Florida won that battle.
Yeah, when Condon and Houck combined for 33 points, 19 rebounds, and combined to draw 12 fouls, Florida is going to be awfully tough to stop. I mean, just that alone, you're going to need the guards to collectively play terribly, and you're going to need pretty much no one else to contribute when Condon and Houck give them that kind of contribution. Condon was 17 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, drew 7 fouls. By the way, it just came out. He's SEC Player of the Week for his efforts. And Thomas Houck, 16 points, 9 rebounds. He drew 5 fouls. So, I mean, it was unbelievable. Florida had more spring in their jump the entire game. And I give Florida credit. They were down 15-5 early, and you kind of felt like, as a fan watching it, it was like, well, you kind of thought, it might be kind of one of these days. Because Auburn is, this is how good Auburn is. They lost at home Saturday. They're still the number one team in the country.
Right.
Like, the voters still, their resume is so good that even the humor, it's one thing if the computer metric, if the net ranking doesn't drop you, because that's all. But, the humans didn't drop Auburn. And so.
Nor should they have.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it speaks to how dominant Auburn has been. But I thought, again, Condon was sensational. Houck made some plays that, Todd Golden will be showing teaching tape of if he's coaching when he's 82 years old. He will still be showing clips of Thomas Houck, because you cannot do it better than Thomas Houck did it Saturday from an energy standpoint. And then Walter Clayton Jr. playing all 40 minutes. Todd Golden telling him during a timeout. Chris Harry did a great job writing a game story, on the Gators website if you want to go check it out. And he documented that around I think it was the 12-minute mark of the first half, Florida's in a timeout, and Golden noticed, kind of feeling where the game is going, says to Walter Clayton, hey, be ready. I might need you for all 40. And Clayton was like, I'm ready. That's fine. And he answered the bell and obviously hit some incredible threes, had 9 assists, a career high, to go along with the 19 points. They did this without Elijah Martin.
Right.
Who I think is arguably their second best player. At worst, he's their third best player. And
second leading scorer.
Yeah, and so to have that kind of a night, maybe Auburn having won 14 in a row, maybe Auburn didn't bring it. Bruce Pearl credited Florida, but said obviously we did not. He went as far as to say, not only do we not play like the number one team, I'm not sure we prepared like the number one team this week, getting ready for this game, and it showed. So maybe Auburn needed a wake up call. We'll see if these teams meet in the SEC tournament, because they don't play again in the regular season. But it was the most impressive regular season game I've ever seen the Gators play.
Right.
They've had moments. Obviously, you win a national title, you beat a UCLA, you beat an Ohio State. It's hard, obviously, for those not to be the biggest games and be the best you've ever played. But for a regular season game, to go into Auburn and play as well as they did, they were 15 of 18 from the foul line. They made 13 threes. They had 22 assists to 12 turnovers. That's plus 10. That's remarkable in that venue. They shot 48.4% as a team, and they beat Auburn on the fast break 14 points to 3. That's really becoming something Florida is elite at. It saved them in the South Carolina win a couple weeks ago. Totally saved them. And it saved them against Georgia later that week. And to be plus 11 in fast break points against a team like Auburn, who was so good everywhere in their home court, remarkable stuff from Todd Golden and his team. Again, it was the best I've ever seen the Florida men's basketball team play in a regular season game.
And I will say this, despite all that, now that we've said all those things that were important about toughness and physicality and fast break points, I will tell you this, and this is a no-duh moment, now, and I know that. But now more than ever, if you want to win a championship, if you want to win big games, on top of all the rest of everything we just said, the street fight, the toughness, the loose balls, you got to be the team in the game that makes the threes. Florida's lost 3 games because they're 21-3. Okay, their loss to Kentucky, Kobe Bryant couldn't miss. He was making shots. It was almost comical. In their home loss to Missouri, Caleb Grill couldn't miss. Couldn't miss. In their loss at Tennessee, they got blown out. The only blowout loss. Chaz Lanier made 5 threes in that game.
Right.
So when
the best defense in the country, or arguably the best defense in the country, showed up that day.
That's right. And so there's other things too. But I mean, you have got to you've got to be the better shooting 3 team. In today's day and age, you better be the better shooting 3 team, and that's what they were. What makes them, of all the things we talked about, Houck and Condon and all the things they're doing, what makes them great is Walter Clayton Jr. is a great player.
Oh, yeah.
He is a game. That's the one guy. That's the guy that takes over the game. When he had 3 logo threes in that game. I mean, when he's unlimited range, knows when to take them, And again, I thought it became contagious. I thought his early threes led to Klavzar's threes, led to Aberdeen's threes. I mean, Alexis made a three. Hauk made a huge three late in the first half. You've got to do. In today's basketball, there's no more throw it inside. There's no more two-post players. A lot of teams play 5 out, none in. Everybody plays at least at the minimum or at the maximum 4 out, 1 in. You got to make today's. There's no Cooper Flagg's an exception. An exception comes around every now and then, but for the most part, there's no big guys taking over games. Broom's a good player, but you know what's funny? He's not a run and jump guy. He's a physical guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a reason he's still not in the NBA. It's because he doesn't have that run and jump that the NBA guys have. See, so with all those guys gone from college basketball, they're all in the NBA. You better be able to shoot threes. I think that's the biggest. And Klavzar adds a dimension to them too. I really believe that.
What would you do in terms of getting him on the court?
I would involve him in the rotation. I wouldn't change my first. Alexis is what he is, but I wouldn't change my guard rotation, but I would add him to it. I mean, if I can get Richard, particularly late in the year now. They played 24 games.
You can't have Walter Clayton Jr. playing 40 minutes very often.
But if I can find an extra 2 minutes for Richard, or 3, an extra 3 minutes for all 3 guys, and Klavzar gets 9 minutes, that's what I would do. And I would have him in early because he's one of those guys that when he gets feeling it, the great shooters make him in a row.
His form is a lot like Lee Humphries.
Very similar.
It's just a beautiful form in terms of shooting the basketball.
And when those great shooters start making them, they need to stay in. That's the one thing you got to do. You got to stay in. But I would have him in the rotation. Again, it's probably 8-9 minutes again. What would you do? I don't think.
I would agree. I mean, I don't
think you move on.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about him so glowingly leading up to the season that if he has now gotten his confidence,
right.
Oh, you've got to play him because he's like Vinnie Johnson. He's the microwave. I mean, you bring him in, and it's bang, 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 and he's giving you 9 points before you blink.
It's funny how it works. They said he makes everything in practice. We've heard that all from our insiders, but he could never find a rhythm in a game. Isn't it funny how it works out that they finally have to play without Clayton, which they didn't want to do, and then they have to play without Martin, and that gets him those minutes, and now he's in the rotation. It's funny how a bad thing ultimately became a very good thing. So we'll see what happens. All right, more basketball talk later on. Hayes has headlines coming up. But when we come back, Lee Smith joins us. Excuse me. He's the executive director of the Players Championship. We'll talk golf. We'll talk this gorgeous golf course. We'll talk about the players being right around the corner. That's next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
A new NASCAR season starts Sunday with the biggest race of them all.
And there's nobody that's better than Daytona.
The Daytona 500, brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Prosser here, still telling you about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures is keeping the sale going into February. Enclosures starting at only $89 a month, and if you get a complete enclosure done, you get free flooring. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring is running a buy one room, get the second room free. Now offering floor coating for that garage or patio deck too. Give them a call or visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hammond, Valentine's Day is coming up. Got any romantic plans?
Dad, I'm married to Clean Air. My plan is to help Jacksonville families breathe easier.
You're helpless, but Clean Air does sound nice. Can duct cleaning really help?
Absolutely. Dust, allergens, even odors can build up in your ducts. Cleaning them now makes your air fresher and healthier for your family. The EPA says better indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So cleaning ducts are like Valentine's Day gift for the house.
Exactly. Forget chocolates. Fresh air lasts longer and doesn't melt. Plus, we've got a February special, $100 off your total.
All right, sign me up. Maybe fresh air will make Mom fall in love with me again all over.
You'll have to take her to dinner for that, but cleaner air will definitely help.
Fair enough. Jacksonville, if you're ready to show your home some love, Google Zerorez and read over 7,000 five-star reviews. Zerorez.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Cerorez. Zerorez.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA golf professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mia here. You want to know what I'm so over? Resolutions. You want to know what I am into? The revolution, hitting the road in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. So what do you say? Join the Arlington Toyota revolution and save big with financing as low as 0% on select new models. Or get up to $8,500 off select new Toyotas. Plus, every new Toyota purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty and 60-day exchange. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/0% for full details.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out with the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom. You'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. UF Athletic Hall of Famer Preston Tucker will throw out the ceremonial first pitch when number 10 Florida opens up their 2025 baseball season against Air Force on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Tucker, a member of the 2024 Hall of Fame class, is the Gators' all-time hits, doubles, RBI, and total bases leader. He made his major league debut in 2015 with the Houston Astros, appearing in 3 MLB seasons during a 10-year pro career. Despite Liam Murphy's team-high 20 points on 8 of 14 shooting from the field, North Florida men's basketball fell to Florida Gulf Coast by a final score of 84-70 inside UNF Arena. North Florida travels to Alabama to face North Alabama on Thursday. Currently 75 degrees at 5:05. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We do appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. Every Monday, it's always the Best Bet Monday around here. Next week at the Best Bet Orange Park, catch the GoPo, the Grand Championship of Poker 200 with a $50,000 guarantee. Satellites into the 200 start at the 18th, and flights 1 through 4 are on the 21st and the 22nd. Frangie and Carlyon, Lee Smith with you. He is now the executive director of the Players Championship. Now joins us now. What a beautiful day here. I'm speaking from a champion's chair here, so you probably knew that. Thank you for presenting the Golden Typewriter.
It's news to me,
yeah,
Frank.
I know
it's news
it is.
to me.
I
haven't heard you mention it to me at least in the last minute or two.
Well, since I haven't,
Yeah.
okay, you know, Lee, I always believe championships are about culture. I think they're about leadership, and I think that's what we saw today, Lee. I think leadership, culture, direction. I think you have to. I'm a big believer you set that standard early. And I think that's kind of what we did today.
Well, and I'd add momentum. I mean, when you talk about setting the tone, you know, first hole of the day, you hit it to a foot, and then you let the horses run.
Yeah,
after
I think they knew what I expected after that.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to create right, Hayes. You got to create expectations.
Apparently,
yeah. Once you did, so I tapped it in from about it was an 8-iron, Hayes. You were wondering, it was an 8-iron to about a foot. Tapped it in, and I think then the funniest part was Hernan Ray and Matthias Anselmo, who are wonderful guys, by the way, probably thought at one moment, this guy may help us. They learned 17 holes later that I probably wasn't much help. But I will say this: we played with them. They're both from ESPN Latin America. They handle the Spanish-speaking golf broadcast on ESPN. Adam Schupak also played with us from USA Today. He's also with Golf Week. Three of the nicest people. And boy, are Hernan and Matthias good players. I told you this off air. And I said this on the air, but I told you this off air. I don't know that I've ever played with two guys together that are that good. I mean, they're both probably plus threes. I mean, Hernan played 14 years on the European Tour, so it's amazing to me how good you've seen this, Lee, because you've been in this world. For guys like me that haven't, it's amazing how good the good players are. Really is.
Yeah, no doubt. And it probably gives you an idea of how many of them are there.
Yeah.
You know, there are good players everywhere, and it shows you, you know, really how aspirational the PGA Tour is. That, you know, even next year with 100 cards, but you know, it's the best of the best of the best, super elite that make the PGA Tour and hold on to the PGA Tour cards, because you see somebody like Hernan and Matthias that are that good, but don't play on the PGA Tour and can slice and dice the golf course like this.
Matthias Hayes. Well, he's probably about a +3. He plays a +3. Like, just unbelievably good player. Great guy, too. And he told me about halfway through, he said, I wasn't good enough to play on the European Tour. That's not even the PGA. He said, I found out after about, he said, no, Hernan did. He said, but I found out after about 3 years, I couldn't cut it on the, think about that.
Yeah.
This guy, so it's amazing.
I would say this, just my own experience. You know how good he was if it took him 3 years to decide that?
Well, that's right. It's a great
took
point.
me about 3 minutes.
And you're a very good player. I hear
to play in a few teardrop tour events down here in Florida, and then realize this isn't going to work. I'm gonna go hungry if I'm going to do this for a living.
And Lee's a really good player, so I mean that puts it in perspective. So all right, catch us up on the Players Championship. Give us some updates. I know you were on with Dan and Jeff today, but I'm getting all excited about it. Tell us some things we need to know, maybe some new stuff. I know we talked about this last week a little.
You know, when you went through hole 10 and 11, a lot of the course change work that we did there on 10 and 11 and allow us to build a venue there that hasn't been there in a long time.
Right.
You combine that with a lot of the fan feedback that we got from our stadium pass holders that that really just said, hey, we want more public access venues. Allows us to partner with a great outfit like Mayo and build a public access venue there that will be a new physical structure for us. On the technology front, outside the ropes, Comcast Business, our proud partner, is building a Game the Green app that you guys will have to take part in. But QR codes around the golf course that will allow you to download this app. You can go, and it basically gamifies the whole 17, allows you to predict where shots are going to end up. If you pick the right segment of the green that they've broken it in, you gain points and you win prizes, and really provides an opportunity for our spectators on site to really get a little bit closer to the action and do it through some technology.
You guys do such an amazing job of making sure that kids get a chance to come out here and enjoy the game and get to know it. Talk about that ticket policy that you guys have in terms of if somebody has a ticket, what that allows them in terms of a kid.
Yeah, creating a welcoming atmosphere for juniors and young players and growing the game amongst that crowd is certainly important to us, and we feel like we have as good or the best junior policy in all of sports, quite honestly, Hays. The opportunity for a ticketed adult to bring 2 juniors 15 and under, completely complimentary, any day, Tuesday through Sunday, just allows for those ropes to be filled with young, aspiring eyes and wanting autographs and wanting to see players up close and taking pictures. And so that junior program is something we're really, really proud of.
So let me ask you, you have been very successful in the golf world, but all over the country. You're from Illinois. You were in the desert in Vegas for a long time. You've been all around. Your wife's in the golf business. You've now been here a while. You having a blast? I mean, what's Ponte Vedra and this tour and this event, I should say? How much fun is it for you? Tell me, what are your reactions now getting ready for your second tournament?
Yeah, it's every day, every new day now is the second time I've seen it, so that the experience is is fantastic, Frank. And having been in all those areas and have hosted tour events at a lot of different clubs, to see the support that Northeast Florida, we were talking a little bit about it off air, that Northeast Florida backs this, it really provides you, inspiration and momentum to bring that obligation, turn that obligation back to having a successful week of the golf tournament, to the other 51 weeks of the year, be able to turn net proceeds around. And, I talked about it in our comments to the media today, just in the last couple weeks. We had a $600,000 contribution to the Players Boys and Girls Club down in St. Augustine to build a much-needed teen center in the neighborhood where that club is. We sponsored a weekend with the Jack's Humane Society and took care of all adoption fees, and 78 dogs were adopted over Players Weekend with the Jack's Humane Society. And then, right here with Dreams Come True, as fantastic of a local organization as there is, we were able to sponsor the Dreams Come True's 5,000th dream and send John Bertram and his family to Lake Tahoe for his dream winter skiing vacation. So, the tournament week in March is so fantastic. But as we like to say, every taco, every ticket, and every T-shirt allows those dollars to be turned around and allows us to do things like we've seen the last couple weeks. And that's I think what gets us up every day to put on a great event and a great community can't miss production, but at the same time, the other 51 weeks a year, what we're able to do also.
Yeah, it's just outstanding. And speaking of last year's tournament, it really, now that we've got almost a full year to reflect back on it, what a special competition. I mean, Scheffler at 20 under shoots a 64 on Sunday to beat by one shot a U.S. Open champion and Wyndham Clark, who is a millimeter away from matching him at 20 on 18. You've got Harman, who's a British Open champion, and you had Xander, who ended up winning his first major later in the season.
And was the Olympic champion.
Yeah. I don't know that – I mean, what an unbelievable tournament we had last year.
Yeah, it's there's always two things that we talk about that we wish we had control over, and that's the weather and the leaderboard. And last year, both of those fell into our favor with a great weather week, and then deserving champions like that all have a putt on 18 to tie the number one player in the world on our 50th anniversary of the tournament. For him to be the first back-to-back champion, like what better stage could you have on your 50th anniversary? Now, flip that forward, and now that we've got that small 3-in-a-row thing over with yesterday, right? We get that out of the way. Now we got the real three-peat, that's possibly coming along when Scotty is his game's trending, and you saw some really good things this past weekend that a month from now he'll certainly, I would think, enter TPC as the favorite.
Final thing, let's segue to the world of golf. Another terrific tournament. We did get news today that Tiger Woods will not play at Torrey because of the death of his mom. And Torrey's tough too, right? But it's also a hard golf course. I mean, so give me kind of a state of where you think golf is right now. A player went and ran and hid in Phoenix. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I think for the PGA Tour, off to a really, really good start. I think we talked a little bit about it last week with Hideki from Asia winning, Sepp Straka from Austria winning, Nick Taylor from Canada winning. We've just had these representatives, Rory from Ireland, and those types of things that we've really had a diverse set of winners thus far. And so on the golf course, I think it's fantastic. Off the golf course, I think we, saw some news with White House meetings and those types of things that we're getting closer by the day on some decisions and unification and those types of things of the game of golf that I know the commissioner is super excited about, and he and his team have worked very hard on. So, certainly I think the momentum is with us in the game of golf, and you saw today with a couple of creators, professional golf is, I think, moving towards a really good thing, and now Wednesday we're having a creator classic and YouTubers on Wednesday afternoon that I think when COVID grew the game in all aspects, that was just really a springboard for all of us that maybe don't play at the highest level to, be able to watch some people that play at a little different level. And today with Roger Steele and Kyle Berkshire and Gabby Golf Girl being here and promoting the Creator Classic and the Players Championship, I think is something that we're really excited about. And 4 weeks and a couple days from now, we'll all be here and ready to go.
And that's the thing. 4 weeks and a couple days. Well, you'll be with us every week up until then, and then after then. So we look forward to visiting some more. But thanks again. I'll say this very sincerely for members of the media. It was a great vibe today, and I said it to you off the air. Let me say it on the air. As inviting and welcoming as you guys always are to us. Not just when we play the golf course, but anything we need. You do a great job. And let me speak for all the media people that aren't here right now. I mean that very sincerely. Appreciate that. It was a great day today.
Well, thank you very much for that. We have as I said too, we have a team that's dedicated not just to national and global media, but are dedicated to the local media because, as I said before, the embrace that this community puts around this tournament. Stands with the media also, and we want to continue to support the people that support us, especially not just 1 week a year, but 51 weeks a year. So appreciate you saying that, but the feeling's mutual.
All right, we look forward to it. We'll see you again next week as we get closer and closer to the event. Lee, we appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Much. Hays has headlines after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL.
After taking down top-ranked Auburn, the Gators swing down to Starkville, Florida, Mississippi State. Tomorrow at 7 on 1010 AM.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
To get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Your new roof from Universal Roof and Contracting can help save a life. Percentage of every new roof this month will go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude's is leading the way. The world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. This promotion ends February 28th. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too. 1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Pick it here for Bow 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Ackerman Urology offers the most advanced options for improving men's health and vitality. Their board-certified urologists treat all prostate disease and sexual health issues. Call their new location at World Golf Village or visit AckermanUrology.com.
You know, many plumbers won't quote prices over the phone and instead charge a service fee for an in-home estimate. Of course, because they know once they're in your home, you're probably not going to send them away. But Roland Reach Plumbing is different. Roland will give you a price quote over the phone, and there's never a trip charge or service fee for an estimate. So if you've got a leak and can't wait a week and don't like paying unnecessary fees, call on Roland Reach Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
These days, we do everything from our phones. That's why JEA's app lets you manage your utility services anytime, anywhere. Whether you want to view your account, pay your bill, sign up for programs, or check the outage map, you can do it all right from the app, when and where it's convenient for you. Because we want to make doing business with us as quick and easy as possible. Download the free JEA app from the App Store today. JEA, your community, your utility.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harold & Harold. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. Tom Champion is here helping us out. JJ LaSelva back at 1010XL headquarters as we are at the gorgeous stadium course at the Players Championship. Thank you to our friends at Harold & Harold. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we are going to start with Super Bowl 59. The Eagles rout the Chiefs 40-22. It was 40-6 with 8 minutes left in the game. Philadelphia went 16-1 in its final 17 games. So my question is, where do the Eagles rank in your opinion? Is this one of the best world champions that we've seen?
Yeah, that's a great question, because the team that takes down the team doesn't always get looked upon as one of the great titles. I think that question will be easier to be answered when we see what they do in the next 2 or 3 years. Remember now, they've been to 2 of the last 3. So certainly they're a team that's got pedigree. That'll be an easier. Right now they're just a team that took down Goliath. That's what they are. And until they build on it or add to it, Hayes, I don't know that they're going to be looked at as more than that. That's the team that took down Goliath. But if they build it, I would not be surprised if they become one of the tough, hard-nosed, physical teams in the league. That's what they're recognized as. The other question is, how will Jalen Hurts? He's been to 2 Super Bowls now. He just won one. You get those rings? I mean, is it Jalen Hurts start stacking up those rings? How's he going to be? Because nobody talks about him. You talk about the best quarterbacks in the league. He never makes the conversation. That conversation is Mahomes and Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, but he's not even in the conversation. Well, maybe it's time to start putting him in.
Yeah, without a doubt, Jalen Hurts did win MVP. The 26-year-old Hurts was 17-22 passing for 221 yards and 3 touchdowns, while also running for 72 yards and a score. Frankie's now 52-23 as a starter, counting playoff games.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He's a really good player, and what a great story. I mean, again, if you follow college football and if you follow football closely, this is a guy that went to Alabama. He played high school football in Texas, went to Alabama, got benched in the middle of a championship game, beat out by Tua, never complained, was a good teammate, remained a good teammate, left because he needed a chance to play, never complained one time, handled it with respect and dignity, went to Oklahoma, was never as highly regarded as Tua, who was getting drafted very high. Jalen wasn't. And now look, he's the guy holding the Lombardi Trophy, or certainly helping his team hold the Lombardi Trophy. He's a great story. He's very spiritual. He's a Christian, and he's proud to tell you that. And I think it's a really neat story. It really is.
Saquon Barkley didn't have a huge night, carrying 25 times for 57 yards, just a 2.3-yard average, and he didn't score. He did catch 6 passes for 40 yards, but what a season for the Eagles' star running back. The 28-year-old Barkley finished with 436 carries for 2,504 yards, a league record, and 20 touchdowns in his first season with the Eagles.
He's the best back in the league. He's one of the best players in the league. You know what's interesting? I know the Chiefs did a very good job on him. They obviously focused on him. But I do believe all the attention afforded Saquon Barkley is why A.J. Brown and Devontae Williams and others ran wide open a bunch. It's why Jalen Hurts had a lot of the success he had. Sometimes, I'm not saying he was a decoy, but sometimes when you can't stop everything. And I thought the effort it took to stop him made other things available for the Philadelphia offense.
Without a doubt, Saquon Barkley joined Emmitt Smith and Terrell Davis as the only men to win the rushing title and a Super Bowl in the same season. Davis was the last to do it in 1998, so it had been quite a while since a running back has done what Saquon Barkley just accomplished. Let's get it to the Chiefs side. Mahomes really struggles. 1 first down in the first half. The Eagles never had to blitz him. What do you think went wrong for Kansas City's offense?
They got beat up at the line. They couldn't block at all. I think it was obvious. And listen, I don't care how great a quarterback you are. I don't care how much success you've had. When you lose confidence that they can protect you, and you should lose the confidence because they can't, nothing else matters. I think you can overthink that, and we can overthink it, and we can try and analyze it till the cows come home. They couldn't block them. The story of the game, the story of the Super Bowl, is the fact that Kansas City couldn't block Philadelphia. That's it. Never blitzed. And so everything fell apart. And by the way, I said this to you earlier. I'll reiterate it. I'm not ready to bury the Kansas City Chiefs. It was one clunker. They're good at building their franchise. I think they will rebuild their line of scrimmage. I think they will rebuild the holes in their roster. I don't think they're going anywhere. But for one day, they weren't nearly physical enough, and I think that's why they lost the game.
Let's get to college basketball. Florida makes a statement in beating top-ranked Auburn on the road 90-81. It was the first road win over number 1 in program history for the Gators. UF led by as many as 21 in the second half, improving to 20-3 overall and 7-3 in SEC play, which is good for a tie for third place. 2 games back of Auburn and Alabama.
You know, we talked about this game earlier in the program, Hayes, and the one thing I didn't say and didn't make enough of a point, so let me make it now, is what a job Todd Golden has done. He's built that roster. There's Condon, who nobody wanted. He saw him when he was recruiting Chinyalu a year earlier. There's Thomas Houck, who had 2 Power 4 offers. There's Urban, who he went and found in Europe. There's Denzel Aberdeen, who was the second guy behind Riley Kugel on that great Orlando team. There's Walter Clayton and Chris Richard and Elijah Martin, who he had to go find from smaller schools. And he's built a juggernaut, man. What a job he's had. And wait till you see him next year. I'm going to talk at the bottom of the hour about Florida's basketball team moving forward. But what a job he's done. And having a team ready. When Clayton's out, no problem. When Elijah Martin's out against the best team in America, no problem. Even at the end of the game when they weren't able to get defensive rebounds, he did something he hadn't done all year long. He went big. Did you notice that? They haven't played 3 bigs together all year long. But because Houck really could be a small forward, at the end of the game, they played Chinyalu, Condon, and Houck together and started getting every rebound. He is a smart coach. He knows when to pull the trigger. He has built that franchise. I guess nowadays it is in the NIL world. But Todd Golden has been magnificent. He really has.
Clemson is having a great year in terms of basketball. They upset number 2 Duke 77-71. The Blue Devils had won 16 straight games and were trying maybe for an undefeated run in ACC play, but the Tigers outscored Duke 42-30 in the second half.
And the story of that game also was the return of Dick Vitale.
Yes.
The standing ovation he got at Little John Arena was magnificent. It really was. And applaud. Good for him for being back. Who doesn't love Dickie V? And you're right, Clemson's pretty good. You don't think of Clemson as a basketball school, but with their basketball program getting better and getting better at a time when the ACC is uncharacteristically down, they could make a run of sorts, no question.
Absolutely. We've been keeping you abreast of Rick Pitino, 72-year-old Rick
guy.
Pitino.
He's the show
St.
coach.
John's.
He's our guy.
This is incredible. So Friday night, they play UConn. They take down UConn 68-62 to improve to 21-3 and 12-1 in the Big East. The Red Storm have won 10 straight. What a story this is turning into. And it's really cool because I just remember St. John's being good when I was a kid in the mid-'80s.
I do too.
And they've been nowhere, basically, for 30 years. And now Rick Pitino.
Chris Mullen and Walter Berry.
10.
Remember Walter Berry?
Yeah.
Chris Mullen. I remember that too. I thought Pitino had a great quote when someone said, if we'd have asked you a year ago, they told you a year later you'd be 12-1 in the league, what would you have said? He'd have said, how the hell did we lose that one game? Wasn't that great? I thought it was a great answer. So, no, listen, he's a great basketball coach, and he's a smart guy. And make no mistake about it, his NBA experience is helping him manage college basketball, which is now more like pro sports than it's ever been. Hey, good for Pitino. I'm like you. I'm loving it and you made a good point, too, that people have forgotten. They're 21-3, And they didn't get Walter Clayton Jr.
Wow.
Walter Clayton Jr., who's a great player. I mean, he's not a good player. He's a great. Imagine if they had him.
It'd be insane. But yeah, a very cool story. We will keep you up to date with St. John's, and Rick Pitino may be National Coach of the Year. A new AP Top 25 poll is out. Auburn remained at number 1 despite the loss to Florida, followed by Alabama 2, then Florida, who was tied with Duke at number 3. That's UF's highest ranking since being number 1 in the 2013-14 season. Tennessee is 5th. St. John's moved up to 9th. And how about this? Auburn, Alabama, Saturday, 1 versus 2. First time it's ever happened in SEC basketball history.
And I needed to check this. You have your computer open. Maybe you check this. They're playing basketball Saturday, not football, right? Is it a metal bowl? If it's not an iron bowl, is it? And by the way, in the coaches poll, it's Auburn, Alabama, and Florida's 3rd. They're tied for 3rd in the AP poll with Duke, same amount of votes, but they're 3rd all by themselves. And can you believe that? I mean,
it's amazing.
In year 3 of the Todd Golden era, halfway through it, they're the 3rd ranked team in America. Where are they in the? I don't know where they're in the net, but
they remain 5th.
Okay,
yeah. So the net didn't change. I think they're so far into the season now that unless you have a bad loss, that might drop you. But a great win, even beating number 1 on the road, wasn't enough to move Florida up. So they're still 5th going into tonight's action. Let's get into our local schools. JU beats Bellarmine 73-64. Stephon Payne led the Dolphins with 20 points, making 8 of 9 shots from the field. JU improved to 9-3 in ASUN play and are tied for first with Florida Gulf Coast, North Alabama, and Lipscomb. So still a bit of a logjam, but a 4-way tie, not a 5-way tie going into the weekend.
A really good bounce back for JU, Hayes, and they needed it because they had lost 2 in a row. You and I talked about the importance of that win at Stetson, which they got, came home and won again. They won at Stetson really without Rob McCray and with Zimmy Wakazi only playing a little bit. So they came back and they won again. Remember, they've got a tough road stretch coming up now. 4 straight road games. So that was a big win. 2 big wins, including the Saturday win for the Dolphins.
Yeah, tough outing for UNF. They lose to Gulf Coast 84-70. The Ospreys were down 44-25 at half and allowed a 53.1% shooting night. UNF dropped to 6-6 in conference play, which puts the Ospreys in 7th place.
Yeah, you're fighting A, to get in the tournament, but B, to host a game in the tournament. So UNF, which also has a difficult schedule coming up. They've got mostly road games, other than the one home game against JU on the 20th. We'll be out there. But, tough slate for the Ospreys coming up as well.
That's right, and we will get you out on our musical note of the day because yesterday was a very special anniversary in rock and roll history. It was the anniversary of the Beatles debuting on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964, 61 years ago, and it showed the power of rock and roll. This is I Want to Hold Your Hand.
That when the Beatles went on the Ed Sullivan Show and became mainstream, it was probably maybe that whole period, not the one night, probably maybe the biggest moment in rock and roll history, because rock and roll was really here to stay. That's a cliche, but people weren't sure. That moment when they had the long hair, at least people thought it was long hair then, and they're on the Ed Sullivan Show, rock and roll was here to stay then. One of the most important moments, I really believe that, in the history of rock and roll music. Well done.
Thank you. Back
in a moment to wrap the program. Stay with us.
I feel happy inside.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Super Bowl 59 won by the Philadelphia Eagles as they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Second Super Bowl victory in franchise history. Jalen Hurts, the MVP, threw 2 touchdowns and ran for 1 more. Looking ahead to Super Bowl 60, which will be held at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs are the early betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. Both are plus 650. The Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, and the defending champions, Philadelphia Eagles, are all plus 700. San Francisco plus 1,400. Cincinnati plus 1,600, and the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders both at plus 2,000. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the G-Bank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/gbank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A broken pipe? That's no way to woo.
This Valentine's Day, don't let plumbing or HVAC problems ruin the romance. Whether it's a leaky faucet, a backed-up septic tank, or a heater that's colder than your ex's heart, Duck Rooter is here to save the day. Our expert team will fix it fast and at a fair price, so you can get back to the love you deserve. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Before the Great American Race on Sunday, the high banks of Daytona heat up with a Saturday night showdown in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Experience the intense competition up close on the sport's biggest stage to kick off the 2025 season. The NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona International Speedway, Saturday, February 15th. Tickets start at just $49, and kids 12 and under are free in general admission. Secure your seats now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks, and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey, Ma, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
If you're getting engaged this Valentine's Day, Beards Diamonds has Jacksonville's largest selection of engagement rings, lab-grown diamonds, and GIA-certified loose diamonds, even Rolex watches, all at the lowest prices guaranteed.
At the St. John's Town Center or shop online at BeardsDiamonds.com.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
Listen up, Googans. Hicken here, still talking skin. This time I want to give you some great advice for Valentine's Day. Look, don't buy anything that either dies or adds pounds. Go see the girls at Beaches Dermatology and get a gift card or even a specific skin treatment, one that will enhance her beauty, maybe even help her look like she did when y'all first met. It's possible. Skin treatment is very important, and a gift from Beaches Dermatology makes a perfect gift this Valentine's Day. For locations, go to beachesdermatology.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hays. Around this time last year, I was celebrating. Why? Because I had reached my goal of dropping 40 pounds with Awaken 180. It felt great. We all set goals, but most times we don't have a plan to hit them, so it's not really a goal. I'd call it more of a wish, and we know how that saying goes. With Awaken 180, I didn't wish the weight away. I had a plan, and this time I knew I'd reach my goal, and I did it. 40 pounds gone in just 2 months. Simple. That was a year ago, and I haven't put on a pound. How do I feel? Like $1 million. Like the horizon line that looked so far away all those years is now right in front of me, and it's a brand new day, and it's time to seize it. Night and day from where I felt carrying around all that weight, having to untuck my shirts, winded trying to tie my shoes. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. Set your goal and know you'll reach it with the solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
If you're cooking for your sweetheart this weekend, Southern Steer Butcher has you covered. An easy-choose Valentine's Day special menu with the best meats in town. Full V-Day flyer at southernsteer.com.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been in the program today? Let's take a little bit of a look back. We talked all about the Super Bowl for sure. The really good game. The physical Philadelphia Eagles laid it to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that doesn't happen very often. Congratulations to them. We talked a little bit of how that affects the Jags moving forward. We talked Gator basketball. What a huge win for the Gators over Auburn. And, of course, we're here for the Players Media Day. Had a wonderful time playing golf out here. Our friend Lee Smith from the Players Championship stopped by. He's the executive director out here, and it's great to have him out, check out with us. I do want to mention real quickly, the Walk-Off Charities High School Baseball Classic was an overwhelming success. 16 teams played. 4 champions got crowned from respective brackets, and we certainly appreciate all those teams coming out and being part of that. The softball tournament starts this week. 16 different softball teams playing in the Walk-Off Charities event. We're certainly excited about that. So thanks to all those teams that were willing to do that for us. So thank you to all those folks. Tomorrow, by the way, is what we're going to call JU Day. Four of our shows, The Drill, Helmets and Heels. The Jaguars today won't be out there because Jaguars today's job is to talk about the Jaguars, and we know that. And Mike and Tony do a fantastic job of that. But the Drill, Helmets and Heels, Primetime, and our show will all be live at JU. JU's asked us to come out there, and obviously we cut a business deal with them, and so we're going to be out there helping them, really helping them. Try and raise money for their auction. They've got a fantastic auction going on. We've got some of Daniel Murphy and Dee Brown will both be on in the morning. Tim Kost, the president of JU, and baseball coach Chris Hays will be on with us. Special Jennings, the women's basketball coach. Jordan Mincy will be on with the Primetime Gang. John Galloway will be on with Helmets and Heels. And again, just a day to celebrate JU athletics. JU athletics been around for a long time. I was a fan when I was a little kid. And we're going to be there all day tomorrow, helping them raise money for their athletic department. Fantastic auction items. We're going to go through all those, so we're certainly looking forward to that and helping our friends. I've told you this many, many times. Our friends at JU, our friends at UNF mean an awful lot to us. That's why we do so many shows from both places, and we're happy to do that. So we'll be live at JU all day tomorrow with 4 of our different shows. JU Day, helping them raise money for their athletic department, and you'll be hearing from some of those coaches. And they've got some great items on those, some great auction items. So hopefully we'll help them one day help out them. We're looking forward to getting out there. Then back to UNF on Friday. College baseball season starts. And the Fighting Irish are in town.
Wow.
Notre Dame, that's a way to kick off your baseball season. UNF is kicking off their baseball season with Notre Dame. Notre Dame is in town to play the Ospreys, and Joe Mercadante, the head coach at UNF, such a good dude. You'll get to hear 2 of my favorite people. Chris Hays, the JU baseball coach, on with us tomorrow. Joe will be on with us when we're out at UNF on Friday. We certainly are looking forward to that. All right, let's say hello to Hacker.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Hacker Nation is here now. Hack, what did you make of the Super Bowl? I thought Philadelphia would win, but I was surprised they blew them out. What'd you think?
Yeah, no, I picked Kansas City to win, which is why 1010XL pays me the big bucks. Are you kidding me?
No question.
And what my logic was Philadelphia was better, but one team has Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So half of my logic was correct. Philadelphia was clearly better, but it did not matter that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid were wearing red last night because the difference in talent, the difference in strategy, the difference in overall performance was absolutely night and day.
Well, I think to your point, and Hays and I had this conversation, had it been a close game, I don't think Philadelphia would have beat them in a close game because Kansas City Hacker knows how to win those, right? They when it gets, if it was 31-28, somebody with 4 minutes left, Kansas City wins that game. The way to beat them is you got to cut the head off the snake, man, and you got to wear them out. And I think that's what happened in the ball game.
Well, it was very reminiscent of Tampa Bay a couple of years ago. Kind of the same thing, right? The Tampa Bay D-line got after Mahomes. Noticeably, Mahomes couldn't do anything. Same exact thing happened here. And I was listening to you guys earlier. You got to wonder if this is kind of a blueprint, right? If Buffalo, Cincinnati, Baltimore, all the teams in the AFC that seemingly can never beat Kansas City, can this be kind of a blueprint on how to beat them? Now, Tampa Bay did it a couple of years ago. It hasn't seemed to help the AFC teams. Maybe last night will a little bit more.
Yeah, great point. We'll see. What's coming up on the program?
Yeah, the offseason begins tonight, so I thought I'd get our guys from Spot Track on. Mike Giannetti is the founder of Spot Track. We're going to talk salary caps. We're going to talk free agency. We're going to talk Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, how much money can be saved with some releases. Spot Track does such a great job. Again, Mike Giannetti, one of the founders, he's going to join me, as will my buddy Mike DiRocco, ESPN.com. We'll have D-Rock to talk about everything that has transpired with the Jaguars over the last couple of weeks.
All right, sounds good. Hacker Nation sitting in for Rick Ballou. That starts in just a bit. Thanks, Hack.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, and that'll just about do it again. I want to thank our friends from the Players Championship for having us out here. We love coming out here. Who doesn't, by the way? You and I were talking about during
glorious.
the break. Who doesn't love coming out here? It's one of America's great golf courses. It's one of the cathedrals of golf. That's the phrase that Rory McIlroy used when he won at Pebble, and I agree with him. This is one of the cathedrals of golf. I would say it is the most famous. That's probably not true. I was going to say it's the most famous golf course in America other than Augusta. It's probably not more famous than Pebble, but it's on the ballot. It's certainly, and I will say it is the most famous golf course, I think, in the world where a golf tournament is played every year other than Augusta. Now, like St. Andrews and Pebble, and there's 1,000 really well-known courses, but they don't have a major or a significant event every year. As far as events, courses that have a significant event every single year, I think other than Augusta National, this is the course.
It's a jewel. I mean, it's an absolute jewel of the game, and it was a privilege being out as always. And 4 weeks away, we'll be getting ready for another Players Championship.
I can't wait.
It's going to be hard to top last year.
Yes, it is.
But they'll certainly
try.
try.
I can't wait. I can't wait. That'll do it for our program. Don't go anywhere. Hacker Nation, Hacker After Dark. That comes up right now. We're out of here. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.